proud principal of William B. Travis Early College High School, the latest school in the Austin Independent School District to earn the designation as an early college high school. With that, I'd like to speak about a few designations we received this year. Number one being that we earned 6 Gold Star Academic Achievement Awards from Texas Education Agency. That puts us in the top 8% of all high schools in the state of Texas. So I'm very proud of what this community has done with their support, but I'm very proud of what the teachers and students have done here. So with that, I'll pass it on to Dr. Paul Cruz, Superintendent of Austin Independent School District.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. Well, here's just another great day in Austin ISD of the good work that goes here in Austin to make sure it's a better Austin for all Austinites. Here at Travis High School, our very next early college high school in the South. This is an opportunity where students will earn up to 60 college credit hours. As you all know, this last graduation cycle, we had 2 schools, LBJ Early College High School and Reagan Early College High School. Both high schools had students earning college credits. Both schools also had students who earned an associate's degree in May and then in June walked across the stage to earn their high school diploma. That's exactly what's going to happen here at Travis. I'm so proud of the students, the faculty, our wonderful principal, Mr. Davidson. I know he's around somewhere. He's probably just walking halls right now. Want to thank them for their leadership. I also want to thank our board members because none of this just sort of happens. It takes strong leadership. It takes strong direction, and it takes a focus on all students. And as you all know, in Austin ISD, that's 85,000 students and 129 campuses. I would like to introduce and also thank for their leadership, the hard work that they've done to make sure AISD is an excellent school system. And that's the board secretary, Jayme Mathias, Dr. Jayme Mathias, and also trustee Paul Saldana. I want to thank them for being here today.
As a Board of Trustees, we're quite excited by what's happening here at Travis High School and throughout the Austin Independent School District. With this program, students will be graduating with their associate's degree from the Austin Community College even before they've graduated from high school. Where do you see that happening in Texas? We're so proud of Reagan Early College High School and LBJ Early College High School and now Travis Early College High School for what it is that it will be doing for our students. So we thank you as a community for helping us to spread the word of all the good things that's happening here in our public schools in Austin. Thank you for being here.
You know, we talk about reinventing the urban school districts, and it's initiatives and programs like we have here at Travis High School that's really going to separate and distinguish us from other large urban school districts. Really proud of the students that we have. Last year graduation, we had our students, our senior class, accumulate somewhere between $50 and $75 million in merit scholarships. And again, as you heard from Dr. Cruz, we had actually high school students graduating with their associate's degree. So I'm looking forward to now bringing this to South Austin so that we can bring more students to AISD. Thank you all for being here today.
And as you all know, it also takes a partnership to create an early college high school because it isn't just with AISD. We need to have a partner when we establish our early college high schools. And I'd like to thank our president, Richard Rhodes from ACC, for his leadership, for his work, for the continuation collaboration with AISD to create other early college high schools. It's something that we don't have to do. We're not expected to do it, but it's a right thing to do for Austin. And I want to thank ACC for their work and for their leadership.
I want to thank you for being here today and thank you for inviting us. It's been 5 years since AISD and ACC embarked on this experiment of creating early college high schools in Central Texas. When it first began, I think there were a lot of people who didn't know how it was going to work. There were a lot of questions, a lot of trepidation among everyone involved in the project. There were some people who saw it simply as a business arrangement. We learned very quickly that it wasn't a business arrangement, that it had to be a true partnership to work with a lot of back and forth, a lot of negotiation and figuring out ultimately what is going to work best for students. There were others who saw it as kind of a quasi-experiment that may or may not work. In fact, the first week that I started with ACC 2 years ago and I introduced myself to one of our faculty members and told him what I was doing, he looked at me and said, "Well, you must be tougher than you look." Because that was the perception that people had. You have to be scrappy to work with early college high schools. But it worked very, very well and very, very effectively. In some ways, it was a bit of a Hail Mary, an attempt to, help a couple of really struggling high schools to do something and improve. But, occasionally the Hail Mary works. And in this case, it did. very admirably. Not only did we have a few students who graduated with their associate's degrees last May, becoming college graduates before they were high school graduates, even more impressively, we had 64 students from these two high schools who graduated with some college credit. All in all, between the two schools, there are over 300 students now taking college courses. 5 years ago, there were only about a dozen students from these schools taking college courses. So what has happened in the 5 years and what we've seen at Reagan and LBJ is a change of the climate and culture. That there is truly now a college-going culture that is growing and expanding at these high schools. That is the power of early college high school. And we are very excited to have Travis on board as our newest early college high school. The thing that makes it even more exciting is, first of all, we've been doing this for 5 years, so we have a better idea of what we're doing. And Travis is already on the road to progress. This is not a Hail Mary for them. They've already been doing the hard work. I mean, the advances they've made in the last year in becoming an approved school and getting 6 out of 7 distinctions from the state is so impressive. So for them, being an early college high school is just an added benefit and bonus. And so I am sure that it will be incredibly successful. We are very excited to be in this partnership, and we look forward to the coming year.
It's an investment in our kids. And our students are so smart, so talented. We want to make sure that we provide different opportunities for students to show their academic excellence. This is one way to do it, where kids actually still take college will take their high school courses, so English 4 and English 3, but combine that with rhetoric and composition. So it's actually something that looks at a student in the classroom, but then combining curriculum, and it really is an investment, because it provides students that opportunity that otherwise they wouldn't have. I think it works because it doesn't have a cap. Students can take college courses. We organize it for students and for families because it is tough to navigate a high school system or a college system. So we actually create that system so it's easier for students. What I also think is important, it does take time. It doesn't happen in 1 year. Now we're celebrating today with the accolades of Travis High School, with its academic achievements and its recognitions, and that's so important. But I would also say that it does take time to then create that culture. There's a culture of excellence, but then taking it to the next level and creating this culture of a college-going culture is important. But it does take time, and it really is working out those kinks like you talked about. Sometimes it's a Hail Mary. It's a lot of bit of everything, but it's making sure we're moving forward and not calling it a day because 1 or 2 things didn't go out the way we wanted them to. But it is about talking to kids about college. It is talking about that expectation. It's making sure that kids are socialized in that environment. And then it's not the question of if you go to college, but when you go to college, what are you going to study? Where are you going to go? And then, of course, it's bringing in families to make those connections for our students. So you're right. It is about aligning the academics, the curriculum, and the staffing, and the resources, and all the sort of the operational things that have to be there. But a lot of it is more of an art. It's more of the conversation of going to college and telling kids, yes, it's possible, and yes, you will, rather than saying, it is not possible, and no, I can't. That's not acceptable. I think we've seen some changes where students who were assigned to that particular school actually didn't go to the school. They transferred to another school. So I'd say the first turnaround we've seen is students who are in that assigned area, as Reagan as an example, they don't transfer out to another school. Now they did start making the mark. That was a school that was coming from a very different place as far as academic performance. But now we see that students do stay in the school, they will continue, and then we'll eventually also see opportunities where kids will come in and transfer into the school. I'm going to ask Mr. Davidson to come up quickly and talk about how he creates that college-going culture. Of course, he loves red. He is a rebel, and now I understand that he really likes stars.
I think there's 2 things that I'd like to talk about. Number 1 is accessibility. So when we discuss, no matter what the program is, that the students in this community have accessibility to the different areas that they can try to be successful in post-high school. So we talk about career, college, and life, but it's accessibility for this community to not only feel like they have to stay within the boundaries of this school, but that they can go beyond, they can go further than that, whether that's immediately starting college or going into career, starting, of course, life right after high school, but that they have the aspirations and more importantly, that they have the skills leaving high school to be successful when they leave us. The second thing I'd like to talk about is just expectations. So when you talk to students about college or career or life or just what's going on a daily basis with them, it's having the expectations that they will be successful. So no matter where they walk in from, whether it's that they are achieving at the highest levels or they have severe academic gaps, all students can learn and all students should be taken care of. We believe in providing the expectations, high expectations for all students so that all can participate in some form or version of early college, high school, but also participate in all the extracurriculars that we offer, all the other academics from advanced placement to career and technology courses, that we have a place for all students in this community, as well as those that want to transfer in to be successful. So it's about accessibility and it's about expectations for our students. Right behind me on this stage, this staff convinced me to dance in front of them. So I got up here in front of my entire staff, and I'm not going to do it today. But that's really a summary of just we are very excited. So I had a really good idea that we were going to make accountability. We've stuck to our what we call the 5 pillars. We have set goals. We were going to make accountability, and we knew at some point that we would receive gold stars, which we would have had in years past if we weren't IR. 6 stars is not a surprise. What I will say is that we are glad that we're finally getting some promotion around it, and that the community understands that this has always been an amazing school, but now we have banners and gold stars to support the hard work that happens here every day. And of course, we're aiming for 7 next year.